Hi everyone, Chas with Chas's Crazy Creations, and we're going to get ready for some Craft and Chat Live. We're going to be making some things with some thrift store finds. So I'm going to pull my computer up here so that we can make sure that the comments are popping up as I look in here. Looks like it's live, I believe. Okay, great. I don't have, because what we're working with today is thrift store finds, one of the things that I'm going to go ahead and put in here are a few of the supplies, but I also have a few groups on Facebook that you might be interested in, so I'll drop those today. Let's see, let me drop those in. Great. Okay, those are in and ready. Have you guys ever had a thrift store find? Have you ever found one? What was your thrift store find? Go ahead and drop that in the comments. All right, there, I think we're running too many things to do to get ready for these lives. I don't like that part. I just want to get going. Well, the good news is the replays always help with that. So I'm just trying to get the comments to pop up here. And if they don't do it for me, I'll just give up and I'll keep going. But that's what I'm working on. All right, so I'm pulling the video up. And I think I just click on it now to make sure it goes. There we go. Okay, should be going. All right, so if you're watching, I'd love it if you could just drop a hi and where you're from so that I can see that on here. If you have any questions along the way, I will do my best to answer them. So, gotta love technology, right? So I'm at a different angle today. I have some shadow here. Let me turn this off, see if that helps. That's my... if it's too dark, we'll turn it back on. But it is one of my lights, one of my sun lights, because I'm actually in the basement of my house. So a lot of times I like working at the kitchen, but with everybody home, you know how that is. It's kind of hard to get some peace and quiet. So I might end up angling that light down a little bit. You can see me, but this table might be a little dark. Give me a comment if you can see, if you need more light on this table as we go. So go ahead and drop that in so I know. All right, so we're gonna have lots of fun with thrift store finds today, and I wanna hear what kind of things you guys have made. So drop that in the comments. This is part of the Craft and Chat live series, so we'd love it if you join us on Craft and Chat. And then I also dropped a few of my own groups, I believe, in the comments. I hope they pop up, we'll see. So what I'm just gonna drop is some surface protectors here because of the glue that we'll be using. So that was nice and noisy. All right, so that is just to cover my surface. I always like to have some paper towels or some baby wipes on hand too, because glue makes, oh good, the lighting is fine. Thank you, Mark, I appreciate that. Yeah, if you need more light, just let me know. And the comments are working, hooray! Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. There, that helps. Hi, Liz. We're gonna start with, we're just gonna make crazy stuff today. So a lot of you ask me how my brain works to come up with some of this stuff. You're gonna see some of that today. So hopefully, hopefully you can see how my brain works. And if you create things, I wanna learn from you too. All right, so what we're gonna start with is a bowl. Hi Liz, I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing? So this bowl is from a thrift store. I usually can pick my thrift store bowls up for not a ton of money. So, you know, the goal is here to be inexpensive, but make things that are fun. If you have heirlooms, you know, it's up to you what you want to do. Sometimes if something cannot be used again and I don't know what to do with it, like I have turned my grandmother's utensils that are not worth, you can't use them to cook with anymore. I've turned them into wind chimes because then I enjoy them, and it's better than putting them in a box in the crawl space, right? So I don't know if any of you guys follow me when I do my shop. I haven't been able to do one in a while, but the shop with me, I guess, shop with Chas and I go to the stores and I show you some of the stuff I find. At one point at World Market, Cost Plus World Market, I found these candle holders and they were like $1 or $2. So we're gonna be using these two to get started with our first project here. And you've got a lot of choices on adhesives. It really depends upon where you're gonna be putting it. So a couple of my favorites are silicone. And then I like clear, but a lot of times even the clear is a little cloudy. So depending upon the look you're going for will determine what you want. Another one of my favorites is E6000. And then of course this little, it's called Fix All, it's super glue. This one just comes from the dollar store. These two are pretty comparable. I think, you know, this one's gonna look like it costs more, but then this one is small in ounces. So I think they kind of average out really in the end, but it's really about what you like. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I would glue this, but I wanna show you what it's going to become too. So I'm gonna go ahead, and sometimes these stick, and I need a pliers, of course, to get them open, which is gonna happen now. Yeah, don't yell at me for that. I don't normally do that, but I don't wanna run and get the pliers. All right, so I've got my candle holder. I'm just gonna put the glue around this top edge here. Now E6000, they just came out with a scent-free kind, and I'm really super excited about that. Okay, so it usually keeps oozing out, so one of the things I do is get the lid on right away. If you're not gonna, if you're gonna be done with it for a while, go ahead and put some Vaseline or something on it to keep it. Depends upon how fast you get it on, otherwise you have trouble getting it open, like I did. All right, so now all I'm gonna do is stick this in the center, just like that. Now I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours. Oh, good, thanks. I'm glad that you're good, Liz. I love watching all you guys' posts too. So what you could do if we were, I wanna be careful with this. This could be a flower, right? A flower that's in your dish garden. But what I'm making here today, as I flip it upside down, can you tell me what that looks like? Anyone? Send me likes and hearts if you like it. To me, it's a mushroom. So that's what I was going for, and we're gonna make some more things today, and that's how simple that is. The other great thing about some of these, depending upon what you put, what is down here, you can put light in these. So this one actually is hollow underneath, so I can do a battery-operated twist LED. A lamp, oh, that's a good idea too. So I can put a twist LED in here, and it would light the whole thing up. And some of them are made to be waterproof, so you can put them outside too. So lots of choices on that. I'm gonna set this one aside. I'm gonna let it dry this way so it stays centered, because if I do it the other way, it won't be centered. So let me go ahead and move that one aside. And let's do another one. Same type of idea. So again, just, you can get creative. I had a cake stand that broke once that I did this with. So, you know, when you see something and you think it's junk, let your mind get creative, because you'll walk by and go, oh, what can I do with these things? I mean, people at the dollar store stare at me because I'll sit on the floor and I start putting things together like a puzzle. Actually, the ladies that work there now come up and they look at me for a while, and then they're like, what are you making this time? All right, so if you like this, please send likes, please send hearts, please share this with anyone who else that might love doing something like this, and we're gonna make another one. So this is literally a dollar store bowl. I can't remember what I got it for, but you know, sometimes you're done with a project and it's ready to be something else. Oh, thank you guys. I love the emojis. You guys are so sweet. Oh, similar name. Hi, Chastity. Thank you for joining me. Is this your first time here? I'd love having you. That's actually my full name too, but I have 2 T's in my name, and I never go by it though. I usually just go by Chas. My parents have, and the only time I got called my full name is when I was in trouble. Otherwise, I've always been Chas. Okay, so same thing, glue the top. And the reason I'm using the E6000 over the silicone is because like this one has a clear top. So if I put this on, you would see that through the top, and I don't really want that. So same thing, just taking the silicone on here. Now, again, a tea light. There are remote tea lights out there. So you could opt to do hot glue if you were gonna use it inside. Put the tea light in there with the remote. They're not too expensive, they're on Amazon usually. And then you glue it together. And the great thing about hot glue is it comes apart later, especially with glass. All you need is a little rubbing alcohol and it peels right off, no problem. So it stays tight while you need it to be tight, and you can use your little remote, but when it's time to change the batteries, you just go ahead and use some rubbing alcohol and it pulls right apart. So, fun fact. All right, let's turn this one upside down. there's my second one. So what do you think? See, it's not hard, it's pretty easy. You can go through any kind of dish and you can make those dish flowers. I don't know if you've seen those. I've got those on my blog. You can paint them, you can leave them plain. Lots of choices. So that's option number 2 for another mushroom. And again, I could put another light on the bottom of this. So, oh, thank you for joining me. Oh, yay, that's so fun. Oh, I love that. We're the same. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you could join. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry too. So let's move on to another one. Okay, this is a vase, obviously. And this is a candle holder. So this, you can sometimes get these for free at garage sales. Oh, thanks for the love. Sometimes get these from garage sales and sometimes thrift stores, so they're $1. And if you're lucky, a lot of ARC and Goodwill, they have the 50% off days, so then you can get them cheaper. And then this was actually in the clearance section. So if you watch those shopping trips I take, I teach you about the secrets of going and looking for the clearance sections. This is actually from Walmart. I think it was a spring, maybe it might have been a spring candle holder, but it was $1. So, you know, jumped in my cart, took it home. So what we're gonna do for this project is I'm gonna go ahead and put the glue on the top of this vase. And this one I could use silicone if I want to, or the E6000 because I'm not gonna see the top of it. So it's really a personal preference. So I'm trying to decide if I should dare to be different. But before I do, this is hollow, of course, because it's a vase. You could put something in here. So what we're gonna be turning this into, you could decide. So you could fill it with water and then add some green food coloring. You'll see why. And then when you put the glue on it, it will seal. You could add paint in here, roll it around, or you know, some Mod Podge and glitter, roll it around, let it dry, and then you're attaching the top. So you could fill it with little, the hole's really small, so it might not fit too many rocks in there, but you could do that too. So I think, let me see what else we're doing. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stick with the E6000, I think, for this one, because I'll use silicone for one of the other projects we're gonna make today. So I'm just gonna go around the top of this one. And you wanna be smart about the glue. Generous is important, but not too generous, or you might end up with it running. Oh, I'm glad you love shopping clearance. Do you live near me? Let's go shopping together. All you guys, I love you. All right. So the glue's on, got my little vase here, and so then what I'm gonna do is try to aim it on the center, and I'm not quite center, like that. I'm gonna let it dry. So what do you see when you look at this? Tell me what you see. Drop that in the comments. What is that visually to you? And then I'll tell you what it is to me. And probably I'm gonna guess some of us are all gonna be the same. So go ahead and drop that in. Again, share this with anybody who might be wanting to have some fun. These can go in your home or outside. With the E6000 and the silicone, you can actually put them outside too. And I like to decorate my outside as much as I like to decorate my inside. My family would vouch for that. My kids now say they need to wear sunglasses at night because of all my solar light creations that I make. So, all right, I will tip it up. Well, I might not tip this one upside down to dry, but to me, it's a flower, okay? So in here, leave it as is. Put a solar light in here. Put a tea light in here, put a real candle in here, whatever you want. And we're gonna come back to it in a while. So I'm gonna set this one aside. Try to aim for it to be a little center. Let it dry. We're gonna repeat it really fast with this one because I have a pink one too. They had a couple different ones. Candle holder, yes. I would probably put candles in it too, but I'll tell you what else I've done with them. You know me, I've got them on the inside and the outside. So inside they're candle holders, but when they go outside, they're something else. I mean, they're still flowers, but okay. So whipping the glue on that one, centering this one up really quickly. That's pretty close. There, all right, there's the second one. So we're gonna use both of these again in a little bit. So I'm gonna let these go ahead and dry, but see how easy that is? And that's why I was talking about you could put water in here depending upon where you're gonna leave it. Put water then and use green food coloring, and you have a nice beautiful stem that way. So it's kind of up to you what look you're going for. So I'm gonna go ahead and set these aside and try not to bump them while they're drying. And again, like I said, we're gonna come back to them in a second because I'm gonna work on this next project now. Oh, let's do this mini one. This one's just for fun. So I found this little mold at the thrift store. Actually, yeah, no, it was at the thrift store. There was a thrift store up in Grand Lake that was going out of business, so I nabbed this little thing up, and I didn't know what I was gonna do with it. So what I did is grab a skewer. These are from the dollar store. Aw, thanks for those hearts, yay! And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little silicone to this. Silicone, holding the wrong one. Silicone to this one, and then I'm gonna stick it to the back. Now, if you ever have silicone, a lot of people will say, oh, my silicone clogs up. You know those skewers they sell this time of year? Those were great to open up these things. So even these metal ones, keep one and then you can stab it to open it back up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and attach this. You gotta do it to the back because the inside's hollow, but that's okay. So if I were to show it to you, there it is. And then I'm gonna let this dry, and now I have this little butterfly that I can put in a flower pot or out in my garden, in my yard somewhere. And because it's silver and shiny, if you have a solar light that aims up to it, it'll reflect. I have a bundt pan outside. I think I have a post coming up on that soon. If not, I need to get it up. But a bundt pan that I turn sideways, and I added a solar light to the center of it, and it shines into the bundt pan, so it looks, it's a flower, right? It's this way, and it shines so bright. So let's see if I can get it to stay for 2 seconds. There it is. 2 seconds, done. All right, sticking it back on. Let's go let that one glue and adhere. All of these, I recommend that you're gonna want to let them sit for about 24 hours. Some of them are harder sooner, but I would recommend the 24 hours for sure. All right, let's get the next thing. Teapots. Okay, so with this teapot, it is chipped, because some people get kind of worked up and a little upset over, you know, if you kind of mess with dishes and things. So these are great projects for like chipped dishes and those kind of things. So this teapot is in not the greatest shape. It's like completely, I've cleaned it, but it's completely like black inside. There's chips in it. So it's not really good for tea anymore. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I don't want this lid to fall off. I mean, you could plant flowers in it, but we're gonna go ahead and glue this to the top. And for this, I'll probably use silicone as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put silicone around the lid. The one thing that's hard is doing these projects, and then you really kind of want to show the after thing, like, but you have to dry. All right, so this one, it goes in and then it twists to help hold it too. So I'm gonna set that there. And that's gonna need to dry before I put it outside, which is where it's gonna go. Now this one's really plain. So one of the things I might do to this one after all my glue dries is I might use one of these adhesive stencils on here, and then I'll stencil on this like bee or something, or somehow decorate it, because it's a little plain. Plain is okay, but I think it would be kind of cute with a flower on it or a bumblebee or something. And you could use decals too, or stickers, and then adhere them with outdoor Mod Podge. So if you like that idea, send me some emojis. I'm thinking it needs something. Well, you guys tell me what you think. Now, I'm gonna move these glues aside. And then in the spout here, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I have got these little crystal things. And I got a whole container of them from, I think, Hobby Lobby for pretty reasonable. And then this is just a little wire. And what this actually is like an ornament hook that I straightened out. But wire, you can find wire just about anywhere. But I have a whole box of these, and I have so many of them, I don't need them all. So what I'm doing with this is I'm gonna bend it in half, and I'm sticking it through the little jewel there. And then I want it to dangle, right? So what I'm gonna be doing is using it here so it's pouring out of the spout. So what I want to do is I want it to stay in there but be able to dangle. And then what I'm going to do is use a bunch of silicone. So I'm going to try to fill this hole with a bunch of silicone in there. And then I'm going to stick that in there so that it can dry inside there. Just like that. Okay, so now it's dangling. Oh, I'm so glad you love this project. Thanks, Liz. So again, you can adjust that. Right now is the time to look at it and see what you think of it. So now's the time to decide if that drip is where you want it to be or not. And then you probably can't see super well in there, but the silicone did slide a little bit down in there. So I'm gonna go ahead after the show and fill that up a little bit more so it's nice and solid. So that is one piece to this project. There's more. So I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna talk a little bit more about this teapot. And we're gonna come back to those flowers in a second too. So next you need a teacup and a saucer. So depending upon, you know, again, trying to use teacups and saucers that maybe are chipped, something's wrong with them, something that's not of value, that's the next thing you're gonna do. This one has, oh gosh, it's been used for so many things. I've used it for so many things, but it's got nice flower pattern on it. It's same thing on the top. So I'm gonna silicone the cup and saucer together. So, put silicone on the bottom. And then we're gonna stick it on to the saucer. And then we're gonna let it dry. Yep, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then we're gonna let it dry. So, with something like this, again, you could leave it like this. We can make it a display, but one of the things you can do is put bird seed or water in here, and then it can feed your birds or, you know, not squirrels. I don't know if you guys don't like squirrels. I don't like squirrels. All right, so then this is a vase, which I washed, which just dripped on me. This is just a vase. Now, if you've seen me at Halloween time, I love to turn these into ghosts. So you just coat them with some white paint or that frosted Rust-Oleum paint, and then you draw some eyes on them, and you got yourself a ghost. You stick a solar light in them, and they light up, and it's super cool. All right, so I'm gonna keep putting it upside down again. I'm gonna put some silicone on the top of this. And then feel free to drop comments again. Like I said, this is for Craft and Chat Live, but I also like doing live shows. And those of you know Chloe from Celebrate and Decorate, she's gonna be back next week, and we are building up for some exciting news. So we're building up to share some exciting things happening towards the end of this month, her and I. So we're excited. I'd love it if you'd follow me on Facebook. I also dropped the link to my blog and my YouTube channel. And then what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna set that on top of here. I'm gonna get up so I can see, and I'm gonna aim for it to be center. Now the other option would have been to flip this upside down, and then you could again fill it with rocks, fill it with something, but I want mine to be upside down because A, I can put a solar light in there, and like I said, my kids say they need to wear sunglasses now at night in our backyard because I have so many solar lights. You can also, I have these flat solar lights that are like a circle, they're a disc, and they just sit on the ground. I can set that over the top of this, and then it will light up that way too. So that's just another thing for that. And then like I said, as I got a nice hair in there, bird seed, water, whatever you want, and you can set them out in your yard. And then what we do is we put these together. So then you go buy a shepherd hook, one of those shorter shepherd hook, and they do sell those at the dollar store, the shorter ones, and you're gonna hook it so that it pours into the teacup, like so. Then you can just adjust the height however you want. You can do more jewels if you want, so it's a longer strand. I've seen lights come out of here. Fairy lights are a great choice that come out of here. You just have to have a way to turn it on and off. So if you like this, please send likes, please send hearts. Please share this with anyone who might be interested in this. And let's keep going because I've got one more project that I'm gonna make and then I wanted to come back. So let me pause here for a minute and bring back the flowers. So you can make a whole display with your mushrooms and your flowers all around and your teapot, right? So we've got our mushrooms sitting in a little, it's like a vignette per se. And you've got your flowers, and you can also do this in like a watering can, and then maybe your watering can is watering your flowers. So I like to put these on my porch. You know, these are great for when your flowers aren't blooming yet, and you're ready for something in your yard. So again, if you like this, please send those likes, please send hearts, please share this with anyone who might be interested in making this project. I've got one more that we're gonna make. And then again, drop in the comments if you've made something from a thrift store finds too. I love hearing what other people are making too. All right, this one I probably am not gonna glue, and I'll show you why. So I have this vase that I just got from, I think it had flowers in it for my birthday recently. And then, where'd that light thing go? Here it is. I'm gonna use this. And it had rocks in it, so that was just another example. You can fill this up with it, whatever you want. You could add more rocks or less, but this is why I'm not putting anything in it yet. And then this, I got for free. It's just a light fixture. I have no idea what it was to. If you have something like this and you know what it was, drop that in the comments. I'd love to know. I'm assuming it was some sort of light fixture, but what's odd about it is it's uneven on this bottom side. So there's so many possibilities of what you can do for this, but I'm gonna show you going along the lines of the other things that we've made already. These are just some fairy lights, and I'm just gonna go ahead and stick them. The wire is sometimes a little challenging to work with, but I'm just gonna go ahead and stick those in there. Now I live in Colorado now, and again, I love to know where you're watching from, so go ahead and drop that in the comments. I live in Colorado now. I grew up in Minnesota, and when I was a kid, my parents played softball, and one of the things that I liked to do with everybody was we caught fireflies, and in Minnesota we called them lightning bugs. And we catch them in the mason jars and play with them, and then we release them by the end of the night. So that is the inspiration behind this project. So the reason I'm not gluing it again is I need this battery pack. Now this battery pack, it has a timer on it, and you can choose fading, flashing, or steady on. And when you turn it on, it'll stay on for, I think it's 6 to 8 hours, and then it'll turn off on its own, and it will turn back on the other day, or the next day. But I wanna make sure I can access this battery pack. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn them on. And then you could, glue this or however you want to do it. And then what you do is you throw the top on, and you've got another mushroom, but you've got your little fireflies hanging out with you, or your lightning bugs, depending upon where you're from. Are they flashing anyways? I think they're flashing anyways. Yep, there they go. So if you're looking for fireflies, flashing is probably better anyways. So again, if you like this, please send likes, please send hearts, please share this with anyone who might be interested in a project like this. I'm gonna go ahead and bring them back on the table. I'd love it if you join any of my Facebook groups or my blog and my YouTube channel. I also would love it if you'd follow and like me here. We also, like I said, have our Craft and Chat live group. I'm trying to go live on Wednesdays right now at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I do have 1 week where I have to go have a follow-up appointment with my hip surgeon after 2 hip surgeries and breast cancer this year. So yeah, all my journey, big journey this year, big changes. All right, so let me keep getting them. I'll keep bringing them all up. So we've got our flowers, we've got our mushrooms that we made, like so. And then this one that I have to finish up. One more. And then the teapot. So see what you can make with thrift store finds. It's so much fun, and just gotta let your creativity go. And this is what I do. I just sit in the store and I just start putting things together. I get lots of weird looks, but I always say, I'm a weirdo and I'm cool with that. So, and look at the cool stuff I get to make. So again, if you like this, please send like, please send hearts, please share this with anyone who might be interested. I'll be doing another stress reduction class, a short one today at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here on Facebook. I'm doing them on Instagram around noon. I'm doing those because of my breast cancer, and I'm cancer free but still going through treatment. Let's put it that way. But I'm doing this because it's important for all of us to be mindful and reduce the stress in our lives. So I'm sharing that with you. Plus, I have a dance background and a dance degree, so it's a way for me to still have my outlet. Oh, you were so sweet, Liz. Thank you. You're so sweet. I love you guys. You're so wonderful and so supportive. I couldn't ask for anything more. You guys are so great and so wonderful and so special. So again, if you'd like to join me later, I'd love to have you join me, and I think that's it. So those are all the projects for today, and I gotta get up and get around to turn it off, but I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.